Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Miss CJ Wright, Chris Kringle. This is Kringle Talks Football. My reaction video for last night's game against Crystal Palace, the 0-0 draw against them. If you can hear that in the background, my daughter's crying. Again, she definitely knows when to get involved in the filming. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I upload a video. Follow me on Twitter, it's CJ Wright. If you're new to Twitch, follow me on Twitch as well. Kringle Talks Football. I've done an instant reaction podcast last night with a friend of mine who's a Crystal Palace fan. His name is Zach Ooze. Follow him at Zach Ooze on Twitter. Go and check that out. The link is in the description below. You can get it on everything: Apple Podcast, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Bit of a rundown on today, so what to expect. A bit of a sort of opinion on the game last night, how it went, what happened, if anything at all. Good performances, bad performances from players. What this means for Arsenal going forward. We discussed it again in the podcast last night, how we felt the teams would go forward, and then just a bit of a closing statement on what to expect for the Newcastle game coming up Monday night. So let's do it. I've got that song, you'll hear somewhere in the background. Cool, so last night's game against Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium, 0-0. It wasn't the most exciting game, the most enthralling game. The lineups were announced last night. Bit of a surprise to see Kieran, Tierney and Pablo not in the side. Obviously now understanding that both of them had picked up a little sort of minor injury or like a little muscle injury. Arteta spoke after the game as well regarding Kieran Tierney, and that he'd have a little bit of an MRI scan today. So the quotes are up there as well. It's a bit of a mysterious one, as we don't really know what's happened there, and also it's a bit worrying the fact he's got to go for an MRI scan. So it might be a bit more serious than just a muscle soreness or muscle tightness. So the game itself, the opening 5-6 minutes, I realise that's not a lot to go on, but Arsenal were on the front foot. We were pressing high, weren't really giving Palace much space. They were lofting the ball out long, trying to get the ball out of their area, and we were just sort of sending it straight back. We didn't create a lot in the first half. Like I said, the opening exchanges, we were on top, making not necessarily things happen, but we were definitely getting into the areas. I mentioned it, that we were getting into the sort of the final third positions, and then the ball across or the ball into the box weren't the greatest. I remember one of Smith Rowe grabbing down the right hand side and playing it in, and I think it was Bellerin who took the ball away from Lacazette, much to the dismay of Lacazette and Emile Smith Rowe actually. But those kind of chances there, they were few and far between, and we didn't really create a lot. Aubameyang had a shot that was saved by Guaita, which didn't trouble him too much. It was just more of a routine save by the keeper, which was fine. And then Palace, towards the end of the first half, started to get a bit more on top, and they had a chance with Benteke shooting, which was sort of trickled into the hands of Leno. You can expect him to make that save. And then also Tompkins had a header which was saved, which went onto the bar, so it hit the bar. It's going to be a lot of editing for this video. So then going into the half time, 0-0, not much to happen. I thought we might make a change because Ainsley Maitland-Niles struggled a bit on the left hand side at the back. He weren't really doing much, and he didn't really. His touch was off, so every time he touched the ball, it kind of went somewhere where it probably shouldn't have gone. Either up in the air, sort of a few yards away from him, created a little bit more danger for himself than he needed to, and he didn't have the best of nights. And after about, I think it was 60 minutes, he was hooked off. Saka went to left back, and Pepe went right wing, and it gave Pepe an opportunity to prove to Arteta that he can play in this team and he can do something. And ultimately he didn't either. The second half was a mirror copy of the first. We didn't create hardly anything. He had a couple of shots which went over. Again, there was a couple of balls into the box where the header wasn't quite connected properly, and it didn't even go on target or trouble the keeper. Benteke forced an amazing save out of Leno, and Ayew went through and sort of he didn't really get much of a connection on it, and I think Bellerin blocked the ball in the end. And then Zaha, he went through on goal and sort of went down like he'd been shot, protesting like for a penalty. So that was really that was the crux of the second half. And yeah, it wasn't the most enthralling game. Let's be honest. So for that period of that second half where we seemed to be on top and playing in their half, we didn't make anything happen. It went back to a few weeks back where we, would have a lot of the ball, a lot of the possession, but ultimately just couldn't create the chances, couldn't unlock the key. So that was it. 0-0 against Crystal Palace. What can you say? Wasn't exciting at all. Good performances, bad performances. Good performances, I thought Granit Xhaka and Danny Tobias were probably our two best players. The two of them in midfield were tackling in the right areas, blocking, fantastically well. And some of Danny Tobias' passing was just sublime. It was probably one of his better performances I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. And unfortunately, he was hooked off for Thomas Partey in the second half. I thought Granit Xhaka might have been the one to be taken off, but Tobias was the one that got taken off. He, for all intents and purposes, the both of them together, like I said, were probably our two best players. For all intents and purposes, like Zach said yesterday on the podcast, MacArthur and Milivojevic were probably Palace's two best players. And it was a battle of the two sets of midfielders, and ultimately both sets won because it was 0-0. Bad performances. Pepe, again for £72 million, he didn't do anything. He literally didn't do anything. It was hard watching at times because he got into good positions and the ball got to him in good positions, and then ultimately he just stopped the ball dead and slowed the game right down as he's done in previous times. And then at 80 minutes, like I mentioned at the start, we've let Kolasinac go. Haven't got in anyone for cover for Tierney, and Tierney's now injured. Like I said at the start, we don't know the extent of it. The MRI scan will show obviously a bit more. Maitland-Niles is just not up to it as a left wing back. Last season he did fine, but ultimately as a left back, it's not good for him. I know there's a few people going around, with a couple of reports of who we possibly sign at left back as cover for Tierney, and I'm all for it. I think pressing matters of attacking midfield was heightened in this game yesterday as well. We've relied a little bit too much on Emile Smith Rowe to be the man that's going to unlock the key all the time. Unlock the key. I keep saying that. It's unlock the door. He's the key to unlock the door. We've relied heavily on Emile Smith Rowe in that position, and just the pressing need for an attacking midfielder is more and more evident. So, and now the need for a left back is also evident. We need cover for left back. We need cover for Kieran, and yeah, that's probably one of the top priorities now in January. I think having to get a left back in, especially if Tierney gets injured for a longer time. So other than that, I thought the rest of the players did okay. I thought Aubameyang showed some glimpses where he didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything great, but he ultimately showed a bit of what he was doing last season, where he picked the ball up, run with the ball, try and cut inside onto his right foot, and either take a shot or try and cross the ball in. And it didn't work out by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought he did fine. Lacazette had a quiet game, Smith Rowe had a quiet game, and so did Saka as well. So kids. And yeah, so what does this mean going forward? Like I said, the pressing need for a left back cover up option is there now, and the pressing need for the attacking midfielder is there now, because it's so difficult and so dangerous to put the trust in a 20-year-old to be the man who's going to be that key all the time. Having someone, I think David Ornstein's reported it, having somebody there to basically teach Smith Rowe the way, and for Smith Rowe to learn off and eventually take over from, is fine. I think the links to Julian Brand has increased a bit. Emi Buendia equally. So I think having somebody there alongside Smith Rowe will help him and benefit him a lot. So what does this mean going forward into the Newcastle game? who knows? Because again, we need to work out the extent of Kieran Tierney's injury. Until we know fully what the extent is, we wouldn't know. Obviously, I'm going to have a preview video for that in a few days' time. We don't play until Monday. Today's Friday, so probably on Sunday night I'll put it up. And yeah, going forward, getting players out the door quicker. So Soccer Artist looks like he possibly could be on the move soon. Ozil, still don't know, but those players there need to be gone real quick so we can start to invest in the January transfer window for players coming in. So, guys, like I said at the start, if you're new to this, follow me, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell every time I upload a video. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. I'm going to go put her to sleep. And if you are an audio person, like I said, you can listen to the instant reaction video podcast last night. Links in the description below. Kringle Talks Football available on all platforms. Until next time, I am Chris Kringle. This is Kringle Talks Football. I'll see you before the Newcastle game. Have fun.